8countnews.com. Peter Zimbor here with renowned trainer Peter Manfredo Sr. And you've got a busy schedule on the horizon. Let's take it in chronological order. April 30th, you charge Edwin Rodriguez taking on Kevin Engel on Showtime. First, let's go back to his national TV debut a few weeks ago. He stopped George Armenta in 47 seconds. We've got tape to prove it. You were working on that left hook to the body during training. Well,
actually, we were working on that. You know, Chico helps out too, and between Chico and myself, we're working with that left hook to the body, but I like it on a 45-degree angle because it shoots up. And we were working on it in the dressing room, basically just before the fight, as a, turning and shoot to the solar plexus with that. And, it just so happened that he got it in there. It was a beautiful shot. And, not that it was lucky, it was worked on and it was worked to perfection.
And all that discussion you had with him about leverage prior to the fight certainly came in handy as he put him away in 47 seconds. Now, Kevin Engel, the guy he's fighting April 30th on Showtime, he's a guy who's been stopped before. George Armenta, tough customer most of the time. He's never been stopped prior to fighting Edwin Rodriguez. Engel has. What are your thoughts on this fight going in?
From what I've seen, I watched a couple of tapes on him. He's right there to be hit. But he's strong. He has a nice, strong right hand. But he's very basic. So, use the jab, slide over to the right. I don't want to give him my plan, and and hit him up and down too. He'll. I think it'll be the same result. It might not be as quick, but with the condition that Rodriguez is in now, he's fighting at a good weight at 168. This fight is at 170, I believe, as contract weight. So, I know Engel's going to come. He's a kickboxer too, so he's coming. They're usually tough. I know that, and but I don't think the experience-wise and the skill-wise, he doesn't have what Rodriguez has in the strength, and it should be the same result. It would be a good win on Showbox.
Edwin's a guy who really has made the transition from the amateur to the pro game, so much so that he really studies his opponents beforehand, looks at tape on them. He told me earlier that he's even watched some of Kevin Engel's kickboxing matches. How much can you tell from a kickboxing fight going into a boxing match in terms of style and whatnot?
Maybe not much. You'll see if he's squared off or how his feet are, and when he's walking an opponent down, if he's too wide or if he's flat-footed. You can see. You can make a few things out, but if unless he's watching a lot of punching, who knows? I didn't watch any of his kickboxing, but I did watch a couple of his boxing fights, and I watched him working on the pads. It doesn't seem like he puts it together. He puts, seems like he's a one punch at a time, maybe two once in a while, and that's it.
And for those who are wondering what you meant when you said kickboxers are tough, you were a kickboxing fighter.
Yeah, at one time, but those days are gone.
Didn't you win some titles as a kickboxer and whatnot?
I won a few titles, and let's not talk about it.
Okay, we'll stick with the boxing action as opposed to the kickboxing. About a little less than a month later, May 22nd, at the Mohegan Sun, your son, Peter Manfredo Jr., takes on Angel Hernandez. He's coming off a good win against Matt Vand a few months ago, a fight that, due to scheduling conflicts, you were unable to work his corner. I'm sure you're looking forward to being in his corner against Hernandez, though.
Yeah, I prepared him for the Vander fight, but we had the Brinkley situation, and my son and I spoke about it, so I ended up going with Brinkley, and we still got a big win there. But this one, we got a tough opponent in Angel Hernandez. He comes to fight, and he's got a lot of time to prepare for this one, and so we're preparing. I heard that they're throwing 100 punches around, so I got inside information throughout the country, and they're working on going to the body. But I think it's going to be the same result. We're going to walk away with this IBO title, and we're going to get ready for real solid work we got going. We had a lot of sparring. He's already got over 100 rounds, and we still got over a month left. So we're going to definitely be ready for this fight.
Angel Hernandez is a guy who we've seen plenty of over the years. He challenged Winky Wright for a world title a few years back. He had a good win over James McGirt Jr., Buddy McGirt's son, on ESPN about a year and a half ago. What about his style do you think suits Peter's well?
Well, he comes forward. You don't have to chase him. He's right there. He's going to be there. He's going to come. He's going to throw those overhand rights, those straight rights. So you just give him a little angle, step overs, and hit him as he comes in, and use the jab against him. The key to boxing, if you understand the game, is using the jab, keeping the opponent off balance, setting up your combinations, and finding your range. And if he goes out there, my son, if he does that right off the bat and gets his range down and uses the jab and keeps him off balance, sets up the combinations, it should be an easy night. Well, I won't say easy, but it should be to our favor. Nothing's easy. You can't overlook anything. But I know he's going to be in good shape. Hernandez, I'm talking about, and so will we. So it's going to be an exciting fight. It's going to be a good fight, a fight that people will want to pay to come and see, because they're both going here to win the title.
Now, Peter had his last fight against Matt Vanda at 160 pounds. This will be his second fight back at 160. This is the division where he's obviously sticking, correct?
He's going to stay at 160. It's a wide open division. I mean, you know, you seen what happened with Pavlik and Martinez Saturday. Martinez, you know, put a nice little clinic on against Pavlik. I feel bad for Kelly Pavlik. I like him, but I think he was a little weak at 160. It looks like he has problems making the weight, and he's a big guy. But we wish nothing wrong with Kelly Pavlik. I wish nothing but the best for him. And Martinez, you got to give him credit. He went out there, he did what he had to do, and the fight looked like it was turning around in the middle rounds. But then he came right back and stuck with his game plan, and he looks like he pulled it away very easily.
Now, Peter Manfredo, your son, is ranked as high as the top 10 by some of the sanctioning organizations. A lot of the media outlets have him top 15, top 20. Nevertheless, because of his name recognition and his high rankings coming off the win over Vanda, there's a chance he might get a crack at a guy like Pavlik or Martinez at some point down the road. Is that something you guys are looking towards after the Hernandez fight?
Yeah, after Hernandez fight, we don't overlook anything. You know, you can't underestimate or overlook or look beyond in this game. This is a tough game. But, yeah, we're always looking for, you know, we'd love to fight for the world title at 160 and win it. You know, I mean, we were at 68. He fought for 2 world titles at 68. And he fought Bika, who everybody seems to be avoiding, and he fought Calzaghe, who no one beat. So, I mean, you can't say we haven't fought anybody. So, yeah, let's get past this one first and, you know, see what comes up, what's brought up on the table, you know, both opponent-wise and financially, money-wise. And then we're going to make the smart move.
Well, that should be a tough fight. May 22nd, the Mohegan Sun Arena, Peter Manfredo Jr. taking on Angel Hernandez. You mentioned one of his previous opponents, Sakio Bika, tentatively scheduled to fight your charge Jesse Brinkley in what could be a title eliminator. Your thoughts?
We got Jesse coming in next week. It's a tough fight. Bika's a tough guy. But what I like about Brinkley is he gets in tremendous shape, and he can hit. I mean, a lot of guys said he had no power, including my friend Teddy Atlas. I love Teddy. He knows the game. But, you know, a lot of people didn't give Jesse a shot in that last fight. Once he found his range and he started cracking Curtis Stevens, he had Curtis Stevens on the deck twice, and, you know, we could have stopped him. So, I mean, anything can happen. Jesse's got the pop. You know, I seen him drop heavyweights in there, so you never know. And, you know, he catches him. And I seen Bika go down by Donnie McCrary. He was stopped. And he got hit by, he got an 8 count, he got dropped. And he got hurt by a few other guys, too. So, and Jadon Codrington had him hurt with a hook in the first round when he fought a couple of times. So, you know, anything can happen in this game. So, you know, we're going to prepare him. We're going to get him in the best shape of his life, and we're going to, work against. We're going to come up with a game plan to try to have a good strategy to beat Bika, and hopefully we can do it.
You know, it's interesting. Jadon Codrington's last fight was on the undercard of Manfredo Bika at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. He really didn't look good in that fight, but you mentioned the Bika fight. You forget just how powerful he was at his prime.
I'll tell you, you know, from what my son had told me, and what I can see, he says that no one's ever hit him that hard. That's how hard Bika hits, and he's been in there with some heavyweights. I mean, and then they go at it, you know. But this guy's a strong guy. That's why everybody seems to be avoiding him. You know, I think a lot of people don't want to fight him. He's fought Calzaghe. I mean, he fought Joe Calzaghe, and after the 5th or 6th round, Joe Calzaghe went back and asked his father, "I don't know what do I gotta do?" And his father started swearing at him. Enzo started saying, "What do you mean you don't know what the F you gonna do?" And he started, and you know, Joe Calzaghe beat him. Then at the end of the fight, the last round, I think with about 10 to 15 seconds left, Bika hit Calzaghe with a beautiful hook. Calzaghe was out on his feet. He grabbed, if you watch that tape, you'll see it. He grabbed onto Bika for the last 10, 15 seconds and held on for dear life. But not to say take anything away from Joe Calzaghe. He's a great fighter and a good friend. And he beat my son, and he's a great friend of ours. And I love Enzo and him. But, you know, just Bika, he's so strong.
One last question, since we had Joe Calzaghe. There's been rumors that he might make a return to the ring. Obviously, he finished off his career undefeated, 44-0, I believe. Had a nice win at the end at Madison Square Garden. Unanimously appointed Roy Jones Jr., and we thought that was farewell. Now there's rumors that he might be coming back. What do you think of that?
I don't know. I don't know. It depends how old he is. I don't know. That's kind of tough. You can't tell anybody that, you know, they shouldn't be able to get back in. They got to learn for themselves. I hate to see him come back and not be at it like he was before. But, you know, if that's what he wants to do, come back. He's undefeated. Well, he was undefeated, so, you know, how can I say no and not come back? You know, I wish him luck.
We'll see how the future pans out. Peter, thank you so much for joining us here on 8countnews.com. Any final words for our viewers before I let you go?
Just want to say thanks for helping us all out and come to the May 22nd fight, and give Edwin Rodriguez some support next week on Showbox.
That's Peter Manfredo Sr. joining us here on 8countnews.com.